or this go too far under. Whether it be bass. What's going on, guys? It's CO Fish Bro. I am in the middle of my garage. It is freezing cold outside. I'll show you really quick. It is really cold out there. Got the truck sitting out front. I am freezing, but I want to take the time to show you guys some things that you can do during the off season when you're not fishing. I wanted to show you guys my kayak, but they're up and I got a bunch of stuff on the ground. So what I'm going to do is actually show you my kayak basket that I use that is really outfit for my needs and most people's needs. It's really cheap. Most of the parts I got from either Home Depot or just miscellaneous fish stores. So I want to show you guys what I've got in this little kit here, and hopefully help you guys maybe outfit your rig a little bit better in the future. So let's go ahead and go through what we got. This right here is just a little tackle box from Cabela's. It's got pretty much all my jigs, it's got all my snap swivels, it's got all my hooks, pretty much any terminal tackles in this bag here. There's a little bit of fishing line in there. There's also some scent that I put on some of my plastic baits when I go nighttime walleye fishing. So that's my tackle bag. Also inside here, I have basically bought these little scrunchy lanyards I picked up from Walmart for super cheap and just put them on a little carabiner. So in the corner of my basket, I actually just have little eye hooks, is all that is. Just screwed those in. So that's what I connect these little lanyards to, and I just found a place on each box to connect them. That way, if you ever go over, God forbid, you at least got your baits, because that's what matters when you go overboard. What else I have in here? Marker buoy, really helpful for kayak fishing, especially when you're on a spot and you don't have spot lock. Anything to really keep you on that spot, you gotta have a couple marker buoys. I usually have 2 in there. What else is in here? I got these fish grips. Help me hold on to fish. These glow in the dark and they float. Really nice for holding fish, especially if you want to, carabiner them to the side of your boat while you're getting out your camera, whatever it may be. This guy right here, just to weigh my fish. I don't always use this, but it's nice to have when you get a slob and you want to know how much it weighs. Now we get into kind of the fun stuff. So besides my pliers here, obviously a set of fishing pliers. Those ones are carabinered as well. But what I have here is actually a piece of 3-inch PVC pipe I picked up from Home Depot. I cut it to about the size of the crate here and just basically zip tied it to the crate. The crate I got from Home Depot as well was only like $5 or something. Usually you can get them for free. I wanted black, so I paid the $5 for it. Got the little PVC tubing here, and inside of it I actually have my anchor. What I've done with the anchor, and this is something you might want to keep in mind, I've actually put a carabiner on the bottom of the anchor and I've zip tied it to the top. Now, why wouldn't I just mount to the top eyelet here? Well, most boaters know, or most people that have done this before with a kayak know, that if you ever get one of these stuck, there's no way you're going to pull it out from the top. So what happens is, when it's stuck, this little zip tie is going to break, and now your pivot point where you're pulling from is from the bottom of the anchor, which usually frees it up from the mud. So that's the anchor. Here, I ordered this off Amazon. This is a clothesline, retractable clothesline kit. And what I did is basically just taped it, gorilla taped it to the handle. There's no screws or anything in it, just use that as the mount point. And then I drug out all the 40 feet of cable of this clothesline. And at the very end of it, I actually sewed in this nylon to the existing clothesline and then wound it all up in there and connected it to the bottom of my anchor. I think this thing was like $10 on Amazon, so super cheap. And then underneath here, you can just see these bungee cords sticking out. That's how I actually hook it to my kayak. On both sides, I just find a little eyelet or anchor point on the kayak, hook those in, and that keeps the actual crate down and locked onto the kayak. Last piece I got here on the back is actually for my net. So again, just like I think this is a 1.5 inch or 2 inch PVC, and I ended up cutting out a little slot here the way that my net fits in there, it fits perfectly in that slot so that it's not wide open, so I'm not catching it when I'm casting my lures and stuff. So this is actually parallel with the sides of the crate here to keep the net out of the way. So really easy to access, and it connects as well to these little eyelets on the side of the crate for ease of use. So that essentially is it, guys. That's just a real cheap crate. I think the whole thing itself was maybe like 35, 40 bucks, something like that, anchor included. And then obviously your tackle and stuff like that. So not too bad for a little crate that goes in the back of your kayak. Really low profile and gets the job done. All right, guys, so one of the cooler parts of my kayak, I actually chose to go with the Lowrance Hook 4. I know a lot of guys have the big 7-inch screens. There's some people that have even 9-inch screens on their kayaks, but I just like the simplicity. This actually goes right in between my knees, and so I just didn't want anything too big, bulky. But the Hook 4 is great. It has the fish finder, it has the down scan, and then it also has GPS as well, so you can map everything. So I definitely love this unit, but let me show you how I've got it connected here. So essentially, I have the power wire running into this waterproof box that I bought from Walmart for about 10 bucks. Then I also have the cable for the sonar, which actually goes into the kayak. All I did was drill a hole right into the kayak, ran the cable through the kayak's hull, kind of zip tied it at several places within the scupper area, and then ran it right back out to the top of the kayak at the back of the boat, and then just kind of zip tied it and ran it down to where the sensor is connected. A lot of people are really weary about drilling holes into their kayak to mount a transducer, but I had no qualms about it. I've used it for a little over a year now and haven't had any problems. And basically anywhere you drill a hole and put in a screw, just make sure you put silicone to back it up. And it's ideal to use bolts instead of just plain screws. But if you have to, you can use screws and then just silicone them really good. So back to this guy. So I have the Lowrance here, power cable's going in. The base that comes with the Lowrance is actually mounted to just a piece of plywood. I cut out a square piece of plywood, and this is actually Velcroed to the top of the box. So that's how this thing is all put together. And then on the sides here, you just have these two little latches, and the whole case pops open. And inside, we basically just have a battery, and then we have these pool noodles that I put in here. These are just your standard pool noodles. And that just holds the battery in place so it doesn't slide around too much. And then I just have a positive and a negative terminal connected to the top of the battery there. So really, really simple installation. This is a 12-volt sealed lead acid battery. I believe it has about 11 amp hours. Again, something I got off Amazon for next to nothing, maybe 20 bucks or so. So that's pretty much all there is. And you just charge this battery with like a 1 amp trickle charger that you can also get off Amazon. So super easy, lasts about 10 hours, and man, you can't beat it for a GPS system on your kayak. Being able to see the fish and mark locations and really get a good perspective of what's happening on the water, this is an absolute must for your kayak. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching CO Fish Pro. If you could just hit the subscribe button down below before you leave, and we'll see you in the next video. So you came to the channel, you liked what you saw. If you could do me one more thing before you leave and just click the subscribe button right here, that'll help me out a lot. Oh yeah, it's getting hot.